you more breaking news coming in as the Ukraine army is claiming that over 9,100 Russian soldiers have been killed so far, along with destruction of 33 aircrafts, 251 tanks, 37 helicopters, and 105 artillery pieces. Massive destruction that is taking place on the Russian side, as much as this is the claim coming in from the Ukrainian army, saying that over 9,100 Russian soldiers have been killed in this war in all these days. More than 33 aircrafts, 251 tanks, 37 helicopters, and 105 artillery pieces is what the Russian side is suffering from. So even as Russia continues to claim that they have now control over several regions in Ukraine, and they continue with the escalation as what was far from predicted by defense experts. This is an all-out escalation we are seeing, and the Ukrainian army now claiming that there is massive damage on the Russian side. Equally, more than 9,100 Russian soldiers have been killed in this war until now. Priyanka also joins me from the studio in Mumbai. And Priyanka, talking about the Russian side, they had firstly not predicted that it will go on for so many days. And while several defense experts were of the opinion that they may de-escalate from day 6, that did not happen. It's an all-out escalation. And a lot of damage on the Russian side as well is what the Ukrainian army is claiming.
Well, yes, Suesha, and as our colleague Shravan as well on the ground, who has been reporting that there is a stiff resistance that the Russian troops are also facing. In fact, Shravan joins us on the broadcast here, Suesha. Shravan, where are you right now? Because we see now numbers are coming out from both the sides, Ukraine and Russia, and talking about the damage that both the troops have also sustained. What more are you picking up on the ground from where you are, Shravan?
Well, in fact, Priyanka, we are basically on the move, so it would certainly be very difficult for us to tell you where exactly we are, and also keeping in mind that the situation remains very volatile, so we'll avoid disclosing the locations. But of course, all that we can say is that we have been on the go. We have been getting all our viewers reports from various parts of Ukraine, starting all the way from the eastern side. More than 1,500. Today, on the 9th day, we are looking at over 1,500 kilometers that have been clocked by the Republic Media Network. But let me start away with some breaking news coming in. I'll also bring in Mridul right now because we've been able to gather some information earlier in the day. It's roughly about 9 o'clock here in Ukraine. And this is what we know, what the Ukraine army is essentially pointing out. One, they say that there was a long convoy of armored vehicles closer to the outskirts of Kiev, which they claim now that has been stalled. They've essentially slowed down. But as far as the offensive down south, the southeastern part, that remains a bigger challenge for the Ukrainians, because Russians on the other side have already indicated that places like in Kherson, Odessa, these are places, Mariupol, this they claim have already been taken over. So the Russian advancement has been very quick, at least if you look at the coastal side of Ukraine, the southern eastern side of Ukraine. Now let's move a little up in the northern direction, where we are being told that you have the Russian East Military District and also the battalion tactical groups, which have only been increased. Now, in the eastern direction, we're being told that about 2 battalion tactical groups are conducting offensives even now. In some places, which Mridul is going to talk about, where they have been able to stall. In another area where 14 BTGs have also been brought in. Let me bring in Mridul right now, who's going to take us through some breaking news right now. We've been able to consolidate all the information that we have as of now. That's the latest as far as the Russian offensive are concerned, and how exactly is Ukraine responding to it. Over to Mridul, who's going to take us through at least 5 big news points that we are getting in right now. And important to point out, Priyanka, that's the big breaking news right now, where the Ukraine army has already indicated that the Russian troops are trying to use Belarus. In fact, they're trying to take help of Belarus armed forces. Perhaps they suspect that there could be some armed provocations, at least in the border areas. Over to Mridul for some more breaking news.
Let me tell all our viewers, the convoy of armed vehicles of Russian armed forces have stalled on the outskirts of Kiev, and they have slowed down. This is the major breaking we have heard since morning. And second is 2 battalion tactical groups of Russian army have moved to defensive operation in the area of Polesky and Kukhari. Russia is trying to involve armed forces of Belarus, and Ukraine expects armed provocation in the border areas. Let me add one more development. Russian military units from Eastern Military District with 15 BTGs are conducting offensive operation on Kozarvochi and Vishrod, Fastev and Ubukiv. This is the main cities. And one more thing, Ukraine has stopped Russian advancement in Makarov area. Russia has withdrawn from Bucha and Gostomel airfield.
That's a very important point, because in Bucha and Gostomel airfield, right from day one of the war, we have seen intense gun battle taking place. In fact, missile strikes have taken place, destroying large parts of Bucha as well as Gostomel airfield. There has been a back and forth between both the army. On the first day itself of the war, in fact, the Russian army had basically made this huge claim that two airfields, that's one in Gostomel and the other in Hostomel. These are the two places where they made this big claim that the airfields were under their control. But immediately after that, as the days proceeded, there was this information that came in that they have been able to take it back, at least in Gostomel. Now the information that is coming in is, Mridul, if I'm not wrong, both the places the Ukrainian army is now saying that Bucha and Gostomel is back in their control.
Yes.
And what more are you picking up? Because the East Military District of the Russian army, these are, let me just put this in perspective. These are military districts which are largely considered to be, in loose terms, a conglomeration of their multiple command units which have been brought together and also considered to be the specialized forces. So what we are looking right now on the ground offensive, certainly Russia is trying to amp it up. Whether they have been very successful remains to be seen. But of course, they are trying to close in as far as Kiev is concerned. But in all the areas in and around Kiev, if you've taken a look at all the images that are coming into our newsrooms, Priyanka, one would understand that the pushback is also coming in because civilians have also been involved in Kiev. That is one of the key reasons why you are looking at the Russian army now finding it very, very difficult to navigate themselves and come really closer. The civilians have used very rudimentary, if I would say, very rudimentary tools to try and stop them. In fact, if you look at, when the Molotov cocktails are being thrown right at the front of the tank with a specific aim that it's going to basically destroy the tank, that has also helped in various places. So you had these images of Russian tanks lying on the roads. They've not been able to move around. That's only because of very rudimentary skills that have been utilized to try and stop the movement of the Russian troops. There's one more information that's coming in. So let me just hand it over back to Mridul so he can complete the information that we have right now with us.
Let me tell you one more deployment in the Polessia direction. A group of occupiers consisting of military units in the Eastern Military District with forces of up to 15 BTGs. This is a big development, and the offensive operation in Kozarvochi, Vishrod, Obikiv lanes and concerting efforts in the direction of Bishviv and Ukrainiaka. In the struggle aboard in the areas of settlement of Polesky, Kukhari, you mentioned in your reports, Shravan, and Borodainka, Bishviv, Gorenchi.
In fact, Borodainka, as far as Borodainka is concerned, take a look at some of the images that we have sent to our newsroom. These are drone images that shows that how one residential building has been completely charred. The residents there in Borodainka they've indicated that this was a missile dropped from an aircraft. we're not very sure right now at this point in time what was the nature of the attack, but it does appear, if you simply go by the claims that have been made by the locals in Borodianka, these are very fearful images, because a large part of these small villages have been completely destroyed. In fact, we were told that in southern Kharkiv, just late last night, both of us, our entire team, were sifting through all the images that we were getting, trying to verify those images. There is one village in southern Kharkiv, which rather one would say not a very strategic location. But having said that, it's only villagers who've been staying there, and it has been completely demolished by the Russian troops. And this is a place called Jakovilka. The Jakovilka is in the southern part of Kharkiv, which has been completely pounded. So this is an overall sort of wrap that we are giving viewers right now so far, the last 24 hours, what's really happened in Ukraine. Across Ukraine, there's not a single place right now, Priyanka, where air raid alerts are not being sounded off. In fact, every place that we have traveled, especially in the night, starting from perhaps a little around 8 o'clock in the evening till midnight or little after that also, what we have constantly seen is essentially air raid alerts taking place, so people have to rush to the bunker. So technically, what we are staring at is a situation where not a single city in Ukraine at this point in time appears to be really, really safe. Western Ukraine perhaps not really touched so far. It has been away from the bombardments that have taken place in various other places. But having said that, how long will this remain in even the western side is not very sure at this stage.